So week 5 here at Ibiza Live, Eden, and things definitely getting hot right now. Am I allowed to say that? It's a bit of a cheesy pun, isn't it? DJ Fresh in the house. How are you?
Great, yeah, how's it going?
I'm good. But how are you? You've just had a private jet flight over from Mallorca. How was it over there first?
Amazing, really cool. Yeah, I mean, every time I've come out to Ibiza, it just feels like it's getting better and better for the kind of music that I play, you know, bass music and drum and bass and dubstep. So I remember coming here when I was younger and it was just house music. And I always used to go out if I was here on holiday with my friends and there was like nowhere to go to listen to anything I wanted to listen to. So it's really good to see that's changing.
And in Mallorca as well, because you just come from there, haven't you? A huge gig in the square just outside BCM today. And how was it over there?
It's great, it was amazing, yeah, packed. It was like really hype. There's like lots of moshing and crowd surfing, and I didn't do any crowd surfing. No. I've got this tour manager called Alan, and he normally gets forced to like crowd surf everywhere we go, but he's not with me tonight, and I never do it myself, so.
Maybe we have to ask him. We had somebody crowd surfing in there last week, so maybe we have to do another world record attempt or something. Obviously, it's been a huge year for you, but can I just backtrack just a little bit, because maybe a few people don't realise just how long you've been in the industry. I mean, you've been DJing for years and years and years, so just tell us a little bit about how it began and how it's kind of brought you up to where you are now, if you don't mind.
Wow. Well, I started on pirate radio. Like when I was at university, I met a guy who was an MC on pirate radio, and I was totally obsessed with jungle and drum and bass, and I just really wanted to find some way of being able to make drum and bass and get it heard by people and kind of work my way into the scene. So he took me down to pirate radio, and I gradually met like MC Moose and Kenny Ken and Andy C and Mickey Finn, and they started playing my tracks. And then I met these guys called Future Forces, D-Bridge and Jason Maldini, and we started a group called Bad Company, and that was quite a big kind of movement within drum and bass for quite a long time.
You toured a lot with them, didn't you?
Yeah. It was much more of a harder kind of underground, like distorted sound than what I'm doing now. So we were doing that for quite a while, and then we kind of parted ways, and I met up with Adam F, and we started our label Breakbeat Chaos, and we signed Pendulum and early Nero and Chase and Status and Camo and Crooked, Simon Bassline Smith, all those guys. We were kind of trying to basically sort of sign the stuff that we thought we could cross over to a bigger audience, because we just wanted to get drum and bass out there and get it taken seriously. So I did that for a while, and then in about 2 years ago I made a track called Gold Dust, and that was kind of really the track that sort of, first track that I did that got into, well, I'd done a couple of tracks that got into the charts, but first thing that really sort of catapulted my new sound to like a new place where I just felt excited about writing songs, and just basically went from there.
So it's been quite a long innings for you. Was there ever a point where you thought, oh my God, is it ever going to happen?
Yeah, weirdly enough, like, so funny, because I actually nearly threw everything in a few years ago, just because I'd been trying, like I worked so hard, I'm a complete workaholic, and just constantly trying to come up with the next idea that was going to, like, you know, move drum and bass forward. And there's a few people in drum and bass that are like that, people like Dillinger, Andy C, Ed Rush and Optical back in the day, you know, who literally, our mission was just to keep like trying to evolve the sound, like, you know, month after month. And I did that for quite a long time, and then I kind of got caught up in the label side of things. Pendulum left Breakbeat Chaos and went to Warner, and that was kind of difficult to get to grips with, really, because we put so much work into it. And I just kind of, I don't know, I guess I just kind of ran out of steam, really. I felt like I'd always wanted to write songs since I was a little kid. I always used to sit on the piano and play tunes and not really sing, but in my head kind of sing a bit. And I just felt like I wasn't really kind of realising what I felt I had to kind of give musically. And weirdly enough, my mum read this book called The Alchemist. She used to say to me, like, you need to read this book, because there's this bit where these two brothers are like searching for gold, and they're like digging in this desert, and one of them gives up and goes home, and then just after he leaves, the other guy like hits gold. And she always used to say that to me, and I used to say, but you know, if you say that to everyone, like, what happens for the, like, about the people who just keep like digging forever?
Is that where the track name came from then?
Well, weirdly enough, that was the track, yeah. And I was literally just about to kind of, I don't know, just thinking about doing something else. I was thinking about learning orchestral arrangement and getting into like making soundtracks and stuff. And then Gold Dust happened, and I felt like a new lease of life, and I felt excited about doing something I'd always wanted to do, and it just felt like I had a whole new thing to explore. So yeah, it's been a long journey.
And so since that time, things just went a little bit crazy. Obviously after that, you had your third album, which I think is due out in September, but you've released the first 3 tracks, Louder, Hot Right Now, and obviously The Power, just with Dizzy. It's been a bit mental the last year, hasn't it? Yeah,
it's been pretty crazy. It's definitely been crazy. I mean, like the expectation has like gone like that, you know. Now everybody's kind of like, you know, like my last track, everyone was like, you know, so it looks like you've almost definitely got another #1 on your hands. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like I'm just kind of making music, and it's great to have, you know, I've got a really good team of people behind me. My manager over there, Andy, he's amazing. Ministry are great. Signed a deal with Columbia in America, and I've kind of managed to surround myself with a group of people that I really respect, that work really hard and believe in what I'm doing, and I think that's a big part of it. But it's yeah, it's funny kind of, you know, being in that, almost like being in the pop world, coming from a place that's really just about the music, not about being famous or having massive hits in the charts.
And on top of all of that, production, success, performing as a DJ, you also have your band as well. You do live performances too. You're doing a DJ set in here tonight, but can you just tell us a little bit about your live sets? Because I know obviously that's a huge part of what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it's kind of my sort of, I mean, it's kind of like my raison d'être, I think they say in French, my sort of reason for being. I mean, like I've always played, as I said, I've always played the piano and always wanted to have a band, and I think part of the reason that we were so involved with Pendulum was because we kind of shared this common thing of wanting to put together a really cutting edge drum and bass band that was going to take the real sound out there and not be watered down with loads of acoustic instruments, but to sound like the music you hear in a club with like a full stage show and with everything being played live. So that's kind of a dream of mine really for ages, and I met up with the rest of Fresh Live over the last few years. Paul Kodish, the drummer, MC Messi, who's our hype man.
All friends of yours as well from over the years in the industry, right?
Yeah. And yeah, we did like a Radio 1 acoustic live lounge thing, and so I called up these guys and I was like, I want to put something together, and just kind of snowballed. We've done like 2 sold out tours now. We've done a bunch of really big festivals over the last few months. We had like a massive crowd at Worked Festival in Belgium last week. It was literally like 40,000 people like all around the tent, and just really, really exciting. I'm really, really excited about it. And I love DJing as well, but for me to be up on a stage like playing and actually, you know, making the tunes to some extent live is just amazing.
Back to the DJ set here in Ibiza tonight. You're going to be going on. What can we expect?
The unexpected.
Well, I know they're all really excited to see you. Wish you luck with your set. Welcome to Ibiza.
Glad to be here. Cheers.